Let's jump right into this. Welcome to today's explainer. We are breaking down a beautifully animated cinematic German story titled Julia's Visit to the Doctor. We're going to use these awesome comic-style scenes to unpack the language piece by piece, and it is absolutely perfectly tailored for you A2 and B1 learners out there. So, bist du bereit für eine Geschichte auf Deutsch? Are you ready for a story in German? Let's step right into Julia's shoes, experience this comic book world, and see what everyday medical vocabulary we can pick up. Scene 1. Krank zu Hause. Sick at home. The narrator kicks things off. Julia fühlt sich nicht gut. Sie hat Fieber und liegt im Bett. Julia is not feeling well. She has a fever and is lying in bed. Notice how those two absolutely crucial nouns pop out. Fieber, meaning fever, and Bett, meaning bed. It's such a great way to link the sound you're hearing directly to the spelling. Then, Julia's mother enters the room, and you can really feel the concern in her voice when she asks, Liebes, was hast du? Geht es dir nicht gut? Darling, what do you have? Or, translated to more natural English, what's wrong? Are you not feeling well? It's literally the perfect, natural phrase to use when you're checking in on someone you care about. And Julia replies, sounding totally exhausted, Nein, es geht mir nicht gut. Ich fühle mich schlecht. No, I am not doing well. I feel bad. The contrast here is just fantastic for our vocabulary building. I mean, we went straight from the mother's question, Geht es dir nicht gut? Directly into Julia's confirmation, Es geht mir nicht gut. That kind of repetition is like super glue for your memory. Moving on to Scene 2. Ankunft in der Praxis. Arrival at the clinic. The story continues. Die Mutter bringt ihre Tochter zum Arzt. Eine Arzthelferin begrüßt sie in der Praxis. The mother brings her daughter to the doctor. A receptionist greets them in the clinic. The word praxis is huge here. It specifically refers to a doctor's practice or clinic. And then, wow, we hit that wonderfully long word, Arzthelferin. Now, what is actually incredibly cool about German is how logical its compound words can be. Arzthelferin translates to medical assistant or receptionist, but look at the building blocks for a second. Arzt means doctor, and Helperin means female helper. You literally just smash doctor and helper together. Seriously, whenever you encounter one of those long, intimidating German words, just take a breath and break it down into its basic parts. Here's another amazing example. Versicherungskarte. The medical assistant absolutely needs this before Julia can even see the doctor. Versicherung means insurance, and Karte means card. An insurance card. See? Once you start recognizing these compound structures, reading comprehension becomes an absolute breeze. Dann nimmt sie Julias Patientendaten auf. Then she records Julia's patient data. Again, Patientendaten is literally just patient plus data. The front desk procedures here are exactly the same as you'd expect pretty much anywhere in the world, which gives you a highly practical, real-world framework for all this new vocabulary. Then the receptionist politely tells them, Bitte nehmen Sie im Wartezimmer Platz. Ich rufe Sie auf, wenn Sie dran sind. Please take a seat in the waiting room. I will call you when it is your turn. Now pay close attention to the formal Sie being used here. Even though Julia is young, the clinic environment is professional, so the assistant addresses both the mother and daughter collectively with that formal tone. All right, Scene 3. Untersuchung im Sprechzimmer. Examination in the consultation room. The wait is over. Julia wird aufgerufen. Die Arzthelferin begleitet sie ins Sprechzimmer. Julia is called. The medical assistant accompanies her into the consultation room. And boom, Sprechzimmer is yet another fantastic compound word. Sprechen means to speak, and Zimmer means room. The speaking room. It makes total sense, right? It's exactly where the doctor consults with patients. The scene shifts. Später kommt der Arzt rein und begrüßt sie lächelnd. Untersucht Julia. Berührt ihre Stirn. Julia hat Fieber. Later, the doctor comes in and greets her with a warm smile. He examines Julia. He touches her forehead. Julia has a fever. Getting right to work, the doctor instructs her, Öffne deinen Mund und strecke deine Zunge raus. Open your mouth and stick your tongue out. Notice that because he's a friendly doctor speaking directly to a child, he switches to the informal do command forms, öffne and strecke. It's reassuring, it's gentle, but it gets the medical instruction across perfectly. Now for the climax of our story, Scene 4, Diagnose and the Rezept. Diagnoses and the prescription. The doctor gives it to her straight. Du bist erkältet. Ich verschreibe dir ein Rezept. You have a cold. I am writing you a prescription. Let's really shine a spotlight on those two crucial words. Erkältet means having a cold. And Rezept, well, in a medical context, it means prescription. Definitely do not confuse it with a recipe for baking a cake, even though it's the exact same word in German. Context is everything. And this next part brilliantly illustrates how we use time of day adverbs in German to establish a routine. The doctor tells her exactly when to take the medication. Step 1, morgens, in the mornings. Step 2, mittags, at noon. Step 3, abends, in the evenings. By just slapping that little S onto the end of Morgen, Mittag, and Abend, you instantly transform a specific time of day into a repeating, daily action. Honestly, it is so efficient. Bringing us to our final chapter, Scene 5. Apotheke und Genesung. Pharmacy and Recovery. Julia und ihre Mutter bedanken sich beim Arzt. Sie gehen zur Apotheke, kaufen das Medikament und fahren nach Hause. Now, you really want to pay special attention to the word Apotheke. You see, in Germany, you can't just buy most medicines at a normal supermarket. You absolutely must go to a dedicated Apotheke. So over the next few days, a steady routine begins. Day 1, Tabletten einnehmen, taking the tablets. Day 2, Tabletten einnehmen. Day 3, Tabletten einnehmen. She follows the doctor's orders to the letter for 3 full days. Danach ist sie wieder gesund. Afterward, she is healthy again. So the absolute key takeaway here is that by following this sequence, getting sick, going to the Praxis, getting a Rezept, visiting the Apotheke, and taking the Tabletten, you now have the complete, essential vocabulary toolkit to navigate a medical visit in German. How great is that? As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a question to really put everything you've just learned to the test. Was machst du, wenn du erkältet bist? What do you do when you have a cold? Do you stay in bed? Do you go to the arts? Do you go straight to the Apotheke? I highly encourage you to try formulating your own answer right now using the words from Julia's story. It's simply the best way to make this vocabulary stick. Thanks so much for joining me on this breakdown, and I'll see you in the next one.